Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on this lovely Friday for Comics from the Future. This is our weekly preview show where we're going to showcase some awesome new series starting, some cool variant covers, and just really interesting items that are on the order form this week that we do not want you to miss. In case you don't know, my name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with infinityfluxcomics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yes, so we hope that this show is informative to you, helps you flush out your pull list or what you order through your local shop, hopefully. And if you need a shop or anything like that, we will give some info up on the screen afterward that will help you out. So, before we jump into everything, please take a second to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do multiple videos every week, and we hope, like I said, the content is useful for you. We also have an Instagram, and we're super excited. We just announced our first show that's going to be on Whatnot. So we're Infinity Flux Comics on the Whatnot app. So go find us on all
We're
that.
everywhere.
We're in your home. Actually,
Surprise!
we kind of are in a way right now. We're in your car. Anyway, let's get started with stuff coming up this week.
You mentioned our Whatnot. It's going to be Monday at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who subscribed to us on YouTube. We just hit 1,500 subscribers.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
It was ages ago we conceived of this show, and that was like my secret goal was like, if we could get to 1,500, I really feel like that has some weight, and we have reached it, so thank you.
That's incredible.
Okay, so we're going to start out with featured comics, beginning with Grimm #1 from Boom Comics. Now, this has a lot of heat on it. There's already been articles about it. I think the pre-orders are above 50,000 already. That's a lot when we're talking about the pre-order on Comics from the Future, and it's already been ordered that much. So this is by Stephanie Phillips, who, of course, was writer for Harley Quinn for some time, and the artist FLAVIANO, who a lot of you might know his work from New Mutants, very up-and-rising talent. So what is Grimm about? It follows this character, her name is Jessica Heron, who is newly dead, but that's the beginning of her story. So she's dead, and she gets recruited to be a Grim Reaper. But unlike all the other Grim Reapers, she doesn't have any knowledge as to what killed her. So that's an odd thing. Everybody there knows what killed them. She does not. So that's some of the mystery. And on top of that, where is the real Grim Reaper? Why are there all these Grim Reaper recruits that have to do everything? So I'm a sucker for these afterlife stories. I really am. I watch all the movies that are that way too. If it's something where it's about the afterlife, I'm on board. So I'm really looking forward to this. And all the earlier reviews have been really high. This is not one we've gotten an advanced copy of yet. Hopefully we will. But really looking forward to this. So this is the regular cover by interior artist Flaviano. Then we have a foil version. So I know you can't see the foil yet, but it's going to be, you know, probably without the trade dress and all sparkly, shimmery, and red.
Kind of like Berserker.
Yeah. Think Berserker. Then we have the Jenny Frison variant. Jenny Frison lending her talent yet again to another great cover. And here is what they call the FOC reveal, meaning this is a cover that wasn't available to see till lately. This is it looks like Jay Lee.
Yeah.
That's got Jay Lee all over it. So Jay Lee variant to it as well.
Next up is one I'm very excited for. This is Flashpoint Beyond #1. I've not got a chance to read all of the Flashpoint Beyond #0 that comes out this week. I'll be doing that later on today. But this is the official full, I believe, 7-part miniseries. There's an interesting YouTube video where they interviewed Jeff Johns and Jeremy Adams and Tim Sheridan, the writers behind it. And Jeff Johns even asked the question, why bring Flashpoint back? I always think that's an important question. You need a reason, not just, oh, it's a cool universe. It's like, no, they have a reason why they're doing this. And he says for those expecting this to be just a small self-contained story, they're going to be wrong, because this is going to have lasting impact on the DC universe. So without having read the 0 issue, I feel like that's going to have a lot of the lead in, because we know that Batman is hunting someone called the Clockwork King. Is it Clockwork King? Clockwork Man, Clockwork King. He has clockwork in the name. And that is, I believe, Bruce Wayne hunting him. But on the other side, Thomas Wayne, his father from the Flashpoint universe, is back in in his original universe, which, to all his knowledge, was destroyed during Flashpoint. But he arrives and it's still there, and so he is going to try to figure out what is keeping this universe alive. What does it have to do with the main universe to this Clockwork Man King person, and how all of that ties together. So we're just seeing the kind of early stages of what this series is going to be. It's going to be big, and also Thomas Wayne is going to run into the Mad King Aquaman, which is one of the most interesting parts of the original Flashpoint, is the war between the Atlanteans and the Amazonians, which is now continuing to rage. So I think that's going to be really cool in this new miniseries. So don't sleep on it. If you haven't read Flashpoint, I feel like this is still going to be new reader friendly. And if you're thinking, oh, this is just kind of like a little sequel, they're saying it's going to be a lot bigger than that. So this is our A cover. And then we have the XERMANICO variant, who is your interior artist.
Is that the Mad King
It's the
Aquaman?
Mad King Aquaman.
Yeah, that's what I've been reading about. It was going to be Thomas Wayne versus Crazy Aquaman. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay, next up is Captain America, Symbol of Truth. And I think we talked about the other one on a previous show, right? So Marvel is relaunching Captain America with 2 different ongoing titles, one for Steve Rogers, and this is Sam's book, Symbol of Truth. So a couple big things about this one is you will see a redesigned Captain America shield. You see it right here with the blue on the outer end and the star redesigned. And yeah, this is going to be just his adventures, his story, and it's going to deal a lot with how does America accept a black Captain America. So we'll see how all that plays out. Not a lot of info behind the scenes yet, so we'll just see how it goes. And we got some different covers coming out for it. So that's cover A. This is the BUSTOS Stormbreakers variant. Just crane your head a little bit. See what's going on with that one.
We should mention, so Marvel, you kind of called it, I think.
Yeah.
Marvel is doing a series of postcard covers. And I think
yes.
Last Comes from the Future, they hadn't called it that yet. And I think you're like, oh, it looks like a postcard.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this is the second one they're doing in their postcard series.
Pretty cool idea. Then we have the COIPEL variant, the LARROCA FORTNITE cover, and Scotty Young. What is he saying? It's too far away. I can't see
He's
it.
going, what? That's what he's saying.
So choose your favorite, and remember this is an ongoing series, not just a mini series. So hope it's good.
I think it's cool too. I think his shield is kind of an homage to the very first Captain America shield, or one of the early ones where the colors weren't quite what they ended up, so the outer ring was blue. If you look at some old, like Jack Kirby Captain America, the shield is those colors instead of what it later became.
Interesting.
So, speaking of Scotty Young, another #1 on this week's final order list is Twig #1, which is completely, written and drawn by Scotty Young, who's immensely talented. I can't believe all the different genres he has done. He's done comedy, he's done superhero, he's done just sort of like straight up indie fantasy. He's done horror romance. Yeah, horror romance. Well, so what is Twig? So some of you might have heard about the ash can that was sent around. So all us retailers got one, and that went for big bucks on the internet. Once people saw the talent that was put into this book, it went way up in value.
$200-300.
Yeah, so this is your chance to order the #1, or as many of them as you want, because this has like Pixar all over it, if you ask me. So it's described to be this character named Twig, who you see on the cover. It is his first day as something called a journeyer. I don't know what that is. That is apparently a job in this world. And the world is said to be, so he goes on a bone-like quest, as in the comic bone, in a world that they say is sort of like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. Now, I have to say, when I read the solicitation and it said all that, I understood. But to me, it's like Scotty Young's stuff is so imaginative in its own. I feel like the comparison is unfair. Like, I feel like when I read it, I'm going to go, no, this is just his own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think they were at a loss of words to try to describe it. And so the best they could do was put it up with, names that people knew, which is really nice. I mean, there's some big books to put it up, or big properties to say it's like. But I think it's going to be something all its own. Every time I read a Scotty Young thing, it's like, this isn't like anything really. So this is the main cover for Twig #1. here is Scotty Young's variant for it. I mean, I've seen a lot of Scotty Young covers. This is different. I
Yeah.
mean, it has aspects that are similar, but he's put a little more into this
It's
one.
almost way back to his Wizard of Oz, one of his very earliest works, working on the adaptation of Wizard of Oz. It's got a little bit of that fantasy.
Yeah, and then here is the Peach Momoko variant. How adorable is that? Twig is budding out of a flower. And lastly, there is going to be a blank sketch variant. So if you think you're ever going to run to Scotty Young at a convention, you're going to want to grab one of those so he can draw whatever. You can make him your art slave.
I would like to see like a Jim Henson version of this. I just think that's the perfect little character for them. Okay, next up is one of the craziest things DC has put out in a while. But, of course, it's Daniel Warren Johnson working on it, so completely makes sense. This is Jurassic League #1. This is a 6-part miniseries. And it's funny when they explain it, because it's like, it's a story everybody knows, where a baby crash lands on Earth from a dying planet, and a warrior princess leaves her island to protect truth, and a T-Rex dons a bat cowl to fight his criminals. Oh wait, maybe that's not so normal. That's exactly what this is. This is the Trinity, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, but this time as dinosaurs in a Jurassic setting of the DC universe. This just had to have come out of him just like doodling, like, what does Batman look like as a dinosaur? And this was born. This is so cool. So I actually got a chance. I didn't read it, but I did get a chance to skim through it. This is not only these characters, but there are more interpretations of the DC universe as prehistoric creatures. I don't want to give it away because I think they want to leave it as a surprise also. But one of my favorite characters and villains makes an appearance in this, and it is awesome. If you see the incentive cover for this, which is out there, there is a dinosaur Joker, which is really horrifying. He's like a velociraptor. This just looks like a lot of fun. A little Flintstones vibes with the kind of Superman or Supersaurus as they call him, saving the cave people and everything. I'm very excited about this. Daniel Warren Johnson is just amazing. He is writing this and doing the cover, but Juan GEDEON is doing the interiors, but definitely channeling Daniel Warren Johnson's style and everything. So definitely check this one out. If you think it sounds weird, it is, but after skimming through it, this is so much fun. Kind of one of those, what am I going to see on the next page type books. So this is our A cover for it. And this is the GEDEON variant with that Dino Batman. I'm not sure what they're calling him, but really, really cool.
That flip top head.
It is.
That looks really cool. Okay, this is a new Gambit miniseries. This is a 5-part miniseries, and it's going to be all about Gambit's past. So this is actually written by Chris Claremont, who co-created Gambit. Really cool, with art by Sid Coughlin. So, Cofton. Yes. Anyway, it is the story of action, intrigue, and revenge that made Gambit who he is. And it's going to be a lot about how his relationship with Storm was forged. In particular, in this miniseries, he's going to be partnering up with the de-aged version of Storm. So that's going to just be rife for fun and interest. So, yeah, that's what's going on here. Gambit 1 through 5. This is our cover A. And then we have a Lee cover B. Momoko variant up in here. And a Williams variant as well.
It's been a while since Gambit's had his own miniseries by himself, and he's had a history of some pretty cool ones. So,
yeah. Okay, so next up is Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer is back in a new issue #1. So check this out. This is being released by a new comic company that is comprised of some people who were working for IDW. They've gone off on their own. And this group called the Frazetta Girls, who are kind of in charge of Frank Frazetta's estate, and the people behind Heavy Metal Magazine. So a lot of people who, have some credentials behind them came together and said, why is there not more being done with all this awesome Frazetta work?
Mhm.
They are planning to launch a multiverse based on Frank Frazetta properties. And this is the number one to it. So, I mean, forming a whole new company
Mhm.
doing this. So, pretty exciting. I don't know what to expect past that. I mean, I think his covers kind of say a lot. I mean, it's
Mhm.
going to be some dire Conan-like universe. So this is not done. A while back, Glenn Danzig did Verotics, where he
Mhm.
was doing stuff with Death
Mhm.
Dealer. This is not that. This is a total relaunch by different people, inspired by Frank Frazetta's work. So here is the first cover. This is the Bianchi cover. This is the A cover, and then here is the variant, which is done by Frank Frazetta himself.
He has such iconic characters that, statues and everything have been made of Death Dealer, and they're not even really tied to anything. It's just his artwork, but he has such a creative, designed eye that he's drawn plenty of characters that could have whole worlds.
And like Grimm, which I was talking about at the beginning of the show, this already has, I think, 30,000 pre-orders
Wow.
for this number one. I mean, the minute people heard they were doing this and who was behind it, stores started pre-ordering like mad. So yeah, this is going to be a big one.
Next up is feels like a kind of a capstone for this War of the Amazons story they've been doing, but this is a Nubia Coronation Special one shot. So beautiful David Mack cover on this. I mean, as an A cover, it's pretty incredible. And this is going to be written by Stephanie Phillips, also Stephanie Phillips again, and this is going to have a lot of top tier artists on it, like Marguerite Sauvage, Becky Cloonan, Jill Thompson, and many more. And this is going to tell stories of the past, present, and future of all the tribes of the Amazons ruled by Nubia, and kind of what her impact and future is going to be for those. Plus, this is going to have the untold origin of Nubia as well. So, sounds like kind of a oversized big culmination of this new great character they've really fleshed out in recent years. So if you're reading a lot of the Wonder Woman stuff, you'll probably want to pick this one up because it seems like it's going to be kind of a beginning. It says of a lot of Wonder Woman stuff to come in the near future. So
I'd like to add that even though it's a coronation special, it's because she's the queen, but that doesn't mean, for those of you who haven't quite been reading it all, it doesn't mean she wins the trial of the
Yeah.
Amazons. The trial is not about who's queen.
yeah,
That's not contested. She is queen. They're just finally doing the coronation for her.
yes. So yeah, so it's not a spoiler about who
Right.
who wins in the end.
Correct.
Yeah, she's queen and everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So this is our A cover, the David Mack, and then we have a Sway variant as well.
This is some fantastic back muscles.
I mean, she could
Yes.
crush you just with her shoulder blades.
Yes.
Okay, next up is Spider-Man 2099 Exodus. Last week we talked about the alpha for this series, and it will end in an Omega, but in between will be the 1 through 5 series, and that's what this is. Spider-Man 2099 Exodus. So, Marvel's dystopian future, and its most prolific hero turned 30 this year. So, the main thing with this, I think everybody's excited for the Winter Soldier new appearance in the future, a woman dubbed Winter Soldier 13. So I think that's what everybody's most excited for in this series, what everybody's talking about. It is written by Steve Orlando with art by Paul Fry. So yeah, this is going to be the main event. And this is our cover A. Then we have the Crease Lee FORTNITE variant. The Lashley 2099 frame variant, just like the original. And then the Ron Lim connecting cover.
All right, now it is time for other number ones. They may not be featured, but they're still number ones nonetheless.
Still
Can't
number
take
ones in
that-
our
You
hearts.
can't take that from them. All right, beginning with Marvel is doing another Voices one shot in honor of May being Asian American Pacific Islander month. So this is going to be stories written and art done by Asian American Pacific Islanders about characters. As you see here, Shang-Chi, Ms. Marvel, Mantis, Wong, they're all going to have stories in this. So I think you've probably read a lot of the other one-shots that Marvel does for various months. So you kind of know what to expect there.
Mhm.
So this is the main cover to that. Then we have the Ji-Hung Lee variant. we have the Stan Sakai variant.
Super cool.
Yeah, I like that one. And then here is the Wu variant.
And there's often been quite a bit of first appearances in these.
Yeah,
Marvel
they'll
voices.
you know, maybe like 1 in 4 of them, but yeah,
Okay.
they'll slide little first appearances and special things. But the stories, I've read I think every single one they've done,
Mhm.
and it really lets the writers tell some different style stories.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel phoned in. I've enjoyed them.
Next up is a new book called Metal Society. This is by Zach Kaplan, and the artist's last name is Balby. And this is cool. They described it as Blade Runner meets Rocky. So in a future, it says an inverted future, the robots actually resurrect humans to be manual labor. And in this world, there's like these MMA style fights, and so a human and a robot team up in one of these fights for the fate of humanity. So a fun inverted concept on your classic human robot story. And then we've got some cool variants for this one as well. This is the Kalida variant and the Qua variant.
Next up, all you Avatar movie fans, is Avatar Adapt or Die. This is going to be a 6-part mini-series, and it's going to tell the untold story starring the popular Avatar heroine, Grace Augustine. It's basically about the pressure to unite the humans and the Na'vi is coming to a head. So there's another movie coming out, right, for
Yep.
Avatar.
Someday.
Yeah.
So
Any moment.
in between you waiting for that, all you Avatar fans, this is a good miniseries from Dark Horse to check out, and just the one cover on it.
Yeah, we were talking before the show about how long since Avatar came out. Andy, you guessed 2008. We looked it up, and you were almost dead on.
Yeah.
2009 is when the movie came out.
And I think it was announced as like a trilogy or 5 movies or something at that time, and we're waiting on the next one. But I think it's either late this year or next year.
Over a decade in the making.
Yeah.
All right, so you know about these. This is IDW does their Transformers best of. They do the best of. They did it for TMNT. Now they're doing it for Transformers. So this is the best of Hot Rod. You know him as one of the Autobot leaders, Rodimus Prime. So this is going to be reprinting some of the most pivotal stories he's been in. These usually are nearly 100 pages. Didn't say a page count that I could see, but it's just $6.99 to get a collection of the best stories starring Hot Rod.
Next up is a new Red Sonja spin-off book. This is Red Sonja, Red Sitha, #1. So I believe this is a mini-series kind of spinning out of Mirka Andolfo's Red Sonja run. And in this, Red Sitha is like the adopted daughter of Red Sonja. And this takes place a little bit in the future where she is kind of following in her mother's footsteps, becoming a young bounty hunter. And so, of course, like any story like this, someone comes to her with a job that is going to be very risky. So, sounds cool. It's cool to expand that Red Sonja universe with this cool new character. Also, like all of these, there's a lot of covers for them. So, this is our Yoon A cover. We have an Andolfo variant.
It's got a lot of attitude right there.
Yeah. Well, she just burned something. She's like, yep, I just did that. And this is the Ganichu variant.
Getting all the movie properties today. This is a new Dune miniseries, The Waters of Conley. This is part 1 of 4. And this is just more from the Dune universe. It's going to be a lore expanding series, basically about the aftermath of the Battle of Arrakeen. Hopefully I said that all right.
Nailed it.
So, if you like all the Dune stuff, you're definitely going to want to check this out. Dune from Boom. This is cover A. And then we have our FOC reveal variant. There was a couple others in between. You can go look those up if you're interested.
I like how you were able to rhyme Dune and Boom so well. Okay, so Archer and Armstrong are back in Archer and Armstrong Forever. So in this series, Armstrong has lost his immortality, and because of that, all of his enemies come out of the woodwork to kill him. That is the general premise here. So this is our regular cover. Then we have the Talaski variant, and here is the Hip variant.
I think Archer and Armstrong is some of the strongest characters Valiant has. They're very funny. If you want a good comedy, like not buddy cop, but kind of two very different characters teaming up. This one is pretty cool. Next up, I get all of the Conan side characters that happen to be female. So this is Belit and Valeria #1. This is not from Marvel. This is from the kind of the same team that brought you this Sumerian book. So they're a little bit rougher, a little bit more adult. All the classic Conan sword and sorcery. And this one, Belit is hitting the high seas once again. She is the pirate queen. And something happens where she has to team up with her prisoner on board, which is the also very formidable Valeria. So sounds really cool. And this is going to have essays in the back of each issue from Robert E. Howard about his like Hyborian universe. Really cool. And this one has a bunch of covers as well. This is our A cover. Then we have the Vatine variant, the Lyrics variant, and this last one is pretty funny. This is the Buscemi variant, which is an homage to that Harley Quinn graphic novel. Yeah.
Dancing. Okay, so now we're moving on to cool covers and other comics. We're going to show you some really good variants now.
Starting with not a variant, this is cover A for Spider-Punk #2. So if you picked up #1 and you liked it, this is the #2 A cover. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. But first, this is the #2 Christopher Scroll variant for issue #2. So basically, some highlights from #1 is this Earth 138's version of Taskmaster, which is a Misfits-inspired villain, is attacking. And we had the first appearance of Riot Heart, Earth's 138 version of Ironheart. So lots of new stuff going on in Spider-Punk.
Well, Riot Heart was in the first one.
That's what notes from the first.
Ah, I see. Okay, so what if Miles Morales #3 is also available to order this week? So in this universe, we've already seen Miles as Wolverine, and now we're going to see Miles. What if instead of getting bitten by an irradiated spider, he got hit by a gamma blast? Well, I think we can see on the cover what happens there. So this is the regular cover for What If Miles Morales #3.
Then next up, I can't believe we haven't got issue #1 of this yet. It's coming soon, but this is X-Men '92, #2 of 5. The very interesting concept of kind of telling the Krakoa story that's been going on in the main X-Men titles, but kind of what if it happened in the 1992 era of X-Men. So in this one, it's all about establishing Krakoa and the X-Men finding a way to bring mutants back to life. And then we have the Mana variant for that as well.
And then we have Batman Beyond Neo Year #2. This is #2 of the 6-part miniseries. #1 just released this week. Basically what's going on is it's Terry McGinnis's first year without Batman there to assist. There's a new villain and the Bat computer has gone evil and is starting to attack the city. So lots of stuff for him to deal with. Trouble without Batman. So this is your A cover. And then we have the Christian Ward variant.
Okay, this is the Kale New variant for Batman Killing Time #3. So pretty cool. Batman dark on his Harley. And in this, it's going to be the first full appearance of the character The Help. And if you watch our Tuesday show, I don't know why, but it was wildly reported everywhere that The Help's first appearance was in that issue too. I read it. He wasn't in there. I told y'all, wasn't going to be there. It's instead in this issue. He's also on the A cover of this too. So if you want his first cover appearance, he's on it too. So this is the Tom King miniseries where Riddler and Catwoman have stolen this immensely powerful object that Tom King will not tell us what it is or what it does. He has us on the hook, just waiting to find that out. So this is Kale New variant for Batman Killing Time number 3.
It's gonna be Alfred's silver serving tray, the most powerful item.
The little bell, you ring it and Alfred comes, even from
it doesn't
across
matter
the
who
grave.
you are, you can call it, and Alfred will appear to assist you.
Now he's just like a Black Lantern when he appears.
Okay, next up is a book I thoroughly enjoyed this week. This is Lego Ninjago Garmadon. This is really fun. If you know anything about the Lego Ninjago universe, it's just a cool fantasy ninja setting in the Lego universe. And Garmadon, who has been the big villain in to the Ninjago ninjas, is now kind of turning into a reluctant hero. So we're going to follow more of his story of possibly redemption. And they say it's the first appearance of a brand new evil threat that's going to be going up against him. So really fun first issue. I can't wait for this next one. This is our A cover for it.
I'm guessing the evil threat may have to do with like the teeth.
It definitely could be those teeth. And this one's cool. This is the Corona variant, who is your artist on Batgirls right now.
Then we have Rocketeer, The Great Race, number 2 of the 4-part miniseries going on. There's racing happening. There's some Nazi-type things going on. What's not to love? This is the cover A by Gabriel Rodriguez and cover B by Stephen Mooney.
Okay, so West of Sundown number 2. This is the A cover by Campbell. I like how it looks like a movie poster.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. So, of course, this was a huge hit. Issue number 1, big hit. And it has to do with Constance. And, she is a vampire. And in this issue, she has to travel to the place she was rebirthed, turned into a vampire, to get some soil. But when she gets there, she has to go up against vampire killers, all kinds of people with guns, and the New Mexico sun, which, obviously very bad for a vampire. I'd also like to mention that if you missed that issue number 1, or you want to get all the different styles of it, there is a second print that is also available to order this week. Unfortunately, they didn't have the cover ready, so we have no cover to show on that. We're going to have to order it blindly, and you know what that means. Retailers are going to under-order it.
Yep.
So if you want that issue number 1 second print, definitely let us know. So this is issue 2, the A cover. This is the Terry variant. We have Constance on there. And then here is the Seeley variant.
I really liked issue number 1 of this. It has a very, it's the Old West, but kind of a classic monster feel, where she has to be stored in her coffin and carted across the country by her human helper there. It was a really fun issue, and what the last page revealed, it looks like we're going to get a lot more monsters in this universe as well. Oh, next up, this is Batman 123, Batman 123. And what's exciting about this one is it says Batman and Robin finally reunite. It has been a long time since Batman and Robin have been together, working together. We'll see how that plays out in this. They're both coming to that relationship with a lot of baggage. And it also says, what if Deathstroke gets infected by Joker toxin? So I don't know who's carrying around some leftover Joker toxin, but apparently Deathstroke gets a hold of it. So, and this is our variant for that one.
Is this Delato still doing it?
I believe Delato is still doing the variants for this. Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, Batman Urban Legends number 15. We just wanted to show you this really funny Riley Rossimo cover. Brave and the Bold. And obviously Plastic Man is all gummed up here. So really funny.
All gummed up.
That is wild. Okay, so this is the Marcus variant for Monkey Prince number 4. This is the Asian American Pacific Islander Marcus variant for it. And here is the Ruan variant for it. And in this issue, the Monkey Prince is going to have to team up with Damian Wayne, who goes to the same high school as him, as they go up against a demon possessed penguin who we've seen in the last 3 issues. So that's what's going on.
Penguin the villain, not the animal.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Yes, the villain, the penguin, demon possessed.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I love this. This is just the funniest thing ever. This is Task Force Z number 7. This is the Prio variant. If you look, I'm guessing this is the gravestone and skull of Batman, but the skull has the bat ears, so that begs the question: is that actually part of Batman's anatomy? Is to have bat ears? I don't know, but it's a very nice cover with just a funny little thing on it.
I mean, if they made that canon, that would be ridiculous. Like they would raise up like Dealey Bob's, like that's how it can be Bruce Wayne.
Dealy Bobs.
Dealy Bobs.
Iron Man 20. This is going to be a big, interesting issue for this week. Just when Tony Stark thinks he is getting his life back on track, of course, everything has to come and mess it up, including hyper-intelligent gorillas and other terrors. But the really cool thing about this one is that he is supposed to propose to Hellcat in this issue. So we definitely wanted to highlight that for those of you who might be interested. This is the cover A. Then we have a FORTNITE variant. Nothing says marriage like Fortnite. Cola variant. Popping the question. And then the Fairy Scroll variant.
Okay, so Avengers number 56. This is the regular cover to it because this is a Jane Foster focused issue. So Jane Foster is currently Valkyrie. I don't know how the writing's going to go in this, but they say she's going to come face to face with her former self as the goddess of thunder. Is this Marvel's way of getting Jane Foster to turn back into the goddess of thunder? We know, her movie's coming up.
There's a miniseries coming up as well about her being Thor again. So,
okay. So more than likely that's where this is going. Now, how this happens, I don't know. Will she wield Mjolnir again? I don't know that either because, with what happened in Thor, Mjolnir is no longer Mjolnir. That's the most I can say that in a row, by the way.
That's a hard word.
Yeah, it just trips around the tongue. But anyway, so we'll see what happens in this. But this is, I think, going to be a bigger issue than some of the other ones. And then we have this David Lopez Skrull variant. Is pretty amusing.
Yeah, she's saying, like, I tried to look like this, but I still look like a Skrull.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, this is the Randolph Skrull variant for Black Panther number 6. In this is when everyone in Wakanda kind of finds out about Black Panther's secret agents he's had around everywhere, and not too happy about it, and they all come after him. So this is the Randolph Skrull variant, and then we have the AAPI Heritage variant by Ruin.
Got a couple cool Moon Knight covers for you this week. Liefeld, I mean, this was pretty good, and he is 100% trolling us about the feet. He knows.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. This is Moon Knight number 11, the Liefeld variant. It looks really good. And then the Mana Skrull variant.
I like how it's just a Skrull wearing his costume. It's not trying to look like it. It's just like...
It's like too much effort.
Yeah, I can just put this on.
Okay, this is the Suyin variant for Silver Surfer Rebirth number 5. This is the final issue of this series, so it's the finale. Silver Surfer and Thanos, they have to go up against Tyrant, who has the Reality Gem. So yeah, this is the Suyin Skrull variant, and then here is the Yoon variant.
Very classic Thanos.
Yep.
It's almost like a statue you could buy. Okay, so this is Venom number 8. This is the Inhyuk Lee Skrull variant. And what's interesting about this is they, in the solicitation for this and everything, they call this the moment you've all been waiting for. And if you buy no other issue, buy this one. So they're really building this one up. But in it, it just says like, oh, Dylan is Venom on Earth, and Eddie Brock is, the Venom in space. You don't want to miss this issue. And it's like, oh, you didn't tell me much there about why this is a big one. But maybe this is one not to sleep on. This might have some big stuff in it. So this is the Lee variant, and then there is the Medina Fortnite variant.
So much mouth and teeth and tongues.
They're having a who can stretch their mouth further competition.
They're both saying, "What's up?" and you know it.
There's so much spit just going back and forth.
Yep.
All right, this is Radiant Black number 14, and I am just now noticing that this is obviously an homage of Hulk 340, I believe.
You are correct.
Really nice cover. Radiant Black still going strong, playing the homage card. So don't sleep on this because this is just the cover A.
Here is just the regular Matina cover to spawn the Scorched number 5. In this, Soul Crusher is a much bigger threat than was originally thought, and there's a whole organization behind it. This is a Matina cover. Then we have the McFarlane variant.
It's actually ready.
Yes, it is ready. So this is another. This is the third, I guess, of the X-Men number 1 homage covers.
It makes sense too that Cygor is in Beast's place. It's funny to see where they put each of them.
And there'll be a blank sketch variant for those who want that as well.
Oh, next up, this is TMNT 128. So 127 was the first, they're calling first appearance of Venus de Milo. It was kind of one of those last page reveals. Could be considered a cameo, but this seems to be, focusing on her now. Because in this one, the Ninja Turtles actually meet her, for whatever she is in this, whether she's all one piece or mini. So really cool. She's on the main cover here. And then, like the last time, there is a Kevin Eastman cover that they're not revealing. But if it's anything like the last one, it is an awesome. The last one was so cool. Yeah. It was one of the best Eastman covers I've seen in a long time. So don't miss out on that one.
And then we have Dynamite Never Dies, number 3. We wanted to point this out because this is a Tony Fleecs cover. And it's
an
this
homage.
is Species? Is this Species?
I think it's Species.
I've never seen Species. I want to see it desperately, but every time I sit there like, don't. But I probably should anyway. Anyway, yeah, Species homage by the one and only Tony Fleecs for Dynamite Never Dies, number 3.
No dogs on it.
No dogs.
Okay, so now we're getting to other printings and graphic novels, starting with Batman Beyond the White Knight. Number 1 is getting a second print.
With a great cover.
Yes, a really good cover for the second print of this.
Thank God that there's another printing because, there was not enough.
Yeah, there was rumors that certain stores were getting theirs late, and I think they did, and it caused sort of a scarcity that I don't know if the scarcity continued, because from what I heard, it was just a few days late in other stores. We got ours. We ordered heavily on it, so everyone around here is happy. But great issue, really cool cover for the second printing. You got Neo Gotham, Terry McGinnis, Bruce Wayne behind bars, and now Jason Todd is involved in it as well. So,
okay, this is funny. This is kind of like when we talked about the Dark Knights of Steel collection. This is Batman the Knight Compendium Edition. Now, usually when I see Compendium, I think this thing is going to be monster size. This collects issues 1 through 3 of Batman the Knight for $7.99. So DC's been doing this where, I guess for some of their longer miniseries, they're collecting the first 2 or 3 issues in something, get you caught up. But this one collects 1 through 3 of Batman the Knight, which is kind of all his stuff when he was in Paris training with the Master Thieves and everything. So if you missed out, you'll want to get this one.
Then we have the Moon Knight facsimile. This is issue number 1 from 1980 from his first solo title. So obviously a good time to print the Moon Knight facsimile. It's just a glorious cover. So make sure to get your pre-order in.
All right, so Static Season 1 is being collected in a hardcover volume. It is just $29.99. This includes Milestone Returns issue 0, which sort of kicked off the whole Milestone universe again. And then, of course, Static Season 1, issues 1 through 6. So the entirety of it for just $29.99 in hardcover.
Then we have the hardcover for Suicide Squad Get Joker 1 through 3. You read this. You really liked this one.
I did. It had delays, though, that hurt the momentum of it.
But this will be great to read all in one for, I believe it's $24.99. So, really cool.
And that is our show.
Yay! We hope that some of this information was very, very useful to you and that it will make your whole day. Make sure to get your orders in with your comic shop whenever they're due. DC orders are definitely due by this Sunday, and sometimes your shop will let you eke out and get the rest of them on Monday if they're extra nice. So, if you want to order any of these through us, we'll put some info up on the screen. Contact us, all that. But more than anything, please be one of our next 1,500 to subscribe to our channel on the
Yes.
journey to 3,000.
Yep. And if you're looking to buy some nice comics, we'll be on Whatnot at 1 o'clock. I think Megan will be probably running that, slinging the comics. So maybe we'll see some of you there as well.
This might be news to her.
All right, guys, have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you next time.